In every class, there was always that one weird kid, and every time, that weird kid gets bullied. But this one story about a weird girl and a group of bullies is a bit different, and yet very, very tragic. Back in the late 1800s, there was a girl, 14-year-old Wendy Williams, who was blonde with slightly curly hair and blue-green eyes. She was thin and very pretty, yet everyone still bullied her. She woke up to another day of torture. In school, every day she was bullied by a group of girls because she had Tourette's syndrome. She always had this tic where she was constantly whistling. She was called Whistling Wendy by everyone. She had no friends. All she had is God, because in her free time, she goes to church and prays, as she is very religious. Please, God, let this stupid whistling go away. I can't deal with it anymore. I just want to have friends for once in my life. When nothing happened, she would always start whistling, and it bothered everyone because it was so loud and disrespectful. But she couldn't control it. I'm so sorry. Wendy then ran home to her long Sunday alone to do nothing but whistle. She prayed again at the end of the day, but then went to bed whistling away as usual. After she woke up, she got dressed. She put on a blue, old-fashioned looking dress and a fabric headband. After breakfast, Wendy started walking to school. She walked alone and started to whistle uncontrollably. Then a girl came up to her and said, "Hey, Whistling Wendy, will you shut up?" And everyone started laughing. Wendy just looked down and tried to ignore them. After what seemed like forever, she arrived at the school building. She walked in and went to class, still whistling. People kept laughing at her, like always, and whispering things like, "Will she ever shut the heck up?" And, "God, she's so annoying." But Wendy just tries to ignore them. It's hard. During class, some girls came up with a prank for her. They decided it would be funny to put water on the stairs so Wendy would fall. After school that day, Wendy stayed after for a club. While she was at this club, those girls put water on the stairs, so since the club took place upstairs, she had no way to avoid this. She also runs out of there every day. After the club ended, the boys hid behind a corner to watch. As usual, Wendy ran out of the classroom and got to the top of the stairs and slipped. During the fall, she cracked her head open. Blood covered the stairs as she fell. By the time her body reached the bottom of the stairway, she was dead, covered in blood. Seeing this, the boys fled out of the building so they wouldn't get caught, feeling no regret of their actions. Her parents were devastated. They didn't know what to do. Cops investigated all the students in the school, but the girls never confessed. So the cops just decided that it must have been an accident, even though it wasn't. A few days after that, no one has seen her parents. They haven't come out of their house since they heard about Wendy's death. The news affected them horribly. They became very depressed. They locked her room door and hid the key. They wanted to make sure nobody ever came in and changed a single thing in there, ever. And there was a note saying, tacked to the door, saying, if there is ever a time where the Williams family is not living in this house anymore, do not, under any circumstances, ever touch this room. In fact, do not touch this house. No matter how many years pass, this room shall not be changed in any way, and nobody is allowed in. Nobody. For the spirit of our daughter, Wendy Williams. If anyone lays a single toe in this room, or a single hand on the door at all, they will regret it. It has been many years since then, and the house was torn down decades ago. After the parents of Wendy committed suicide, shortly after they wrote that note, the land where the house was is now a church. Many people have reported sounds of mysterious whistling in there. Even some have reported finding old items in the church, items from around the late 1800s. Some say that the spirit of Wendy Williams still haunts the land, and always will. Oh, and did I mention? The girls who caused her to die were found dead weeks later. Nobody ever found the cause of their deaths, but they were presumed to have died from suicide from the regret. The way that they were found was in a tree near the house before it was turned down. They were all hanged with their stomachs slit open.